What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's episode, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Ripple. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. Otherwise, let's get right into today's episode. So really what I want to discuss with this episode is the possibility and the talk that we're going to have as whether or not we're going to see cryptocurrency reach levels that we saw last year. So I do want to point out, though, that on my Litecoin chart, and for the most of them, it's pretty much going to have to update, though, or I'm going to have to change them. But we'll look at Litecoin for right now. Two things that I want to point out, or three things, is first, I did change the RSI. You guys have asked me in the past that the relative strength indicator was too difficult to see. So I did change the purple line to a light green line. So hopefully that's a lot easier to see, as well as I did change the purple background to a white background. So hopefully leave in the comments if that looks better. I also changed the high-low MMAs. A lot of you guys have been asking me that you couldn't see it. I left the colors the same, but I did thicken them quite a decent amount. So those should hopefully be easier to see as well. Now, for those who want to know what high and low MMAs I'm talking about, you'll notice that it says the middle, high, and low moving averages 35 and 100. So these are both the 35-day and the 100-day moving averages to help justify your guys' questions. But we're going to talk about the possibility of a bullish scenario within cryptocurrency. Now, we're going to discuss whether we can break up or whether or not we can break down, and we're going to discuss the price levels we could see the currency fall to if indeed we do manage to break them. Now, I know a lot of you are saying I can be bullish on cryptocurrency, but I do also want to talk about a bearish scenario that we could potentially see within the cryptocurrency community. So I'm going to start on Litecoin right now just to give you guys a better example. So right now you'll notice that I do have a white and a red line that I have drawn on here. And basically these lines are indicating the bottom, hopefully, of Litecoin, as well as the downtrend we have pretty much drawn on here and been following. So you can see that averages that downtrend. Now, if I go onto a thing called price range, we can see, I'm going to just move this up a little bit. We started here at the bottom, right at the red line, and we shot all the way up to around around $420 on Coinbase. Now that is equivalent to a 500, I believe, 512% gain. Now we're going to take a 512% gain and we're going to move this on to where Litecoin could potentially shoot up to. So I'm just going to slide this down more, and now we look at the bottom here and we move this up to a 512% gain, and you'll notice that seems to be right around this area. So that basically equates to around a $484 Litecoin. Now, usually what I've noticed is in markets when we do have such downtrends, especially elongated downtrends, so ones that last a long time, we usually end up bullish on these scenarios. Yes, we can break down, and yes, in the past I have adjusted the long-term descending triangle. Now, a lot of you guys have said that it could be a negative if you keep redoing or trying to find where these descending triangles are, and I kind of disagree with that because nothing is for sure and nothing could have been drawn out. Now, this could pretty much have been the correct downtrend that could have been drawn from the start, but I wasn't too sure as to where that is, and it's very hard to pinpoint exactly where these downtrends are, or these lines. Support and resistance lines are a little bit easier, but downtrends and uptrends are a lot harder to find. But you'll notice we do have a downtrend right here that we're currently kind of bottoming out at, and I'm going to zoom in right now so we can get a better view, and hopefully you guys can see the high-low MMA is a lot clearer. Now you'll notice for Litecoin, interesting enough, is the past few days again we have been trading sideways. Not much has happened. We haven't seen much of a price movement. We've been kind of sticking around that $75, $76 region for a pretty long time. Now, this is a good thing and a bad thing. It's good to see consolidation because it usually ends on a good note, and we could see a price shoot up very high. But also hanging around a region for too long is also an indicator that we could push down very low. The good part about the whole situation is the fact that we are due to move. It's just a matter of what direction we face. Now, I want you guys to think about last year. Bitcoin was at $2,000 or $1,000 at the start of 2017, and we ended on a $20,000 Bitcoin. Now, that is absolutely phenomenal and shows you how much volatility and movement cryptocurrency can face. So for all of you and any of you who can just say 15,000 is unattainable in the near future, I can't agree with that, only because we've seen such huge movements so quickly within the space. Now, with this consolidation, it is a good thing, and we're going to really have to pay close attention. The consolidation is what I called for. We're going to see this pull all the way down or sideways movement until we kind of go next to the downtrend. Once we can approach the downtrend, we're going to see whether or not we can get enough volume to break us above. It'll be very unfortunate to see us break down from it, but let's just talk about what would happen if we broke down before we continue with a bullish statement. If we manage to break down from a price at around at around $75, the next level we're going to have to face is obviously 70. And then the next closest support that I found is around the $56, $60 region for Litecoin. So I am talking bearish. If we do manage to break down, we are going to test a level of $60 to $65. Sorry, $56 to $60. In the off chance that we do breaking out of this huge support that has been hovering over Litecoin for the past like 7 months, if we break bullish from this, I would definitely see a movement back up to its 35 and 100 day middle moving averages, currently sitting at around $121. Reason being is we always go back to support, and being that the high and low middle moving averages are a huge support like we've talked about on this channel, it is a very good indicator that breaking bullish would bring us back to this high-low MMA. There is a chance we can break up from it, and we could go much higher. And if we do, we're probably going to consolidate, if not pull back down to the support level that we have at those high and low MMAs. If we manage to, we're most likely going to face some type of resistance though once we get to that region. Interesting enough is that we are sitting at a region where we have faced some resistance in the past. You can see how much support was here, and the fact that we broke down from that and are continuing further means that right here there's a lot of resistance on Litecoin unless it gets enough volume to push its way up. Now, if we look at Litecoin on the weekly to give us a better look, you can see how big of a descending triangle we have. And you'll notice I did draw a pretty accurate downtrend in red. For those of you who are confused on where to draw it, it looks a lot clearer in red on the weekly than it did on the daily and the 4-hour. You can see how we are pulling down, and I believe I can add the what is it called? The TD sequential. So if I go TD sequential, we're going to add that. Cool. And now, one thing I wanted to talk about was a guy named Tony Vase. I don't know if you've seen his YouTube channel. He loves TD sequential, and I'm going to kind of break it in. From watching his channel for months now, I've kind of gotten a general consensus of how it works. Now, usually we can do runs from like 1 to 9 candles, and after that 1 to 9 candle movement, it usually breaks the other direction. There's usually a 1 to 4 candle pullback or kind of retracement in the upwards direction. So you'll notice that recently we were on a 1 to now 9 candle pullback. And usually what happens after a 1 to 9 candle pullback is we can see some sort of retracement. Now, it's very nice to see that we're ending this last candle at the bottom and in this tight spot of the downtrend right here, this descending triangle. That is a good it brings a lot of support and thought to my mind when I see a 9 candle in the bottom of this descending triangle. Usually hopefully we're going to start, or we will start, a 1 candle right now or tomorrow at the end of the week, and we're going to see whether or not it can close above its previous candle. If the price closes above its previous candle, I'm going to anticipate a 1 to 4 candle movement in the upwards direction. Good thing about that, though, is the fact that we are ending, like I said, on a 9. So that is a very good inference and reference to those who want to start using TD sequential as a way to track cryptocurrency and kind of make a general analysis. Now, all of this, I wouldn't say just use one. You'd have to use all of this technical talk to kind of pick a way or make a general analysis of where you can see the price going. Now, we are sitting at a 38 on the stock RSI, which is very good. We're not too overbought or too oversold. We are tending to be closer to that oversold region, but it's definitely giving us enough room to push the currency up higher. So I definitely think it is a good start. I think Litecoin is definitely sitting in the best possible scenario that I can see it in. I can't see it in a better place. But to end this downtrend on a 9 candle looks very nice, and I'm hopefully expecting to see a 1 candle close above not only the previous 9, but as well as above the descending triangle. Now I am going to move on to Bitcoin right now, and what's interesting with Bitcoin, once I zoom out, here we go, let's go back to the daily. You'll notice with Bitcoin, it managed, like I said, to break out of its previous kind of funnel or downtrending wedge. And the good thing is the fact that we managed to break out of that is it kind of has the freedom to do what it wants. The fact that it is consolidating right now is an interesting thought. It is food for thought. There is a potential downtrend forming, but we will see how that closes tomorrow. Now, it is looking quite nice. Again, we're seeing that consolidation. We are seeing that consolidation on Litecoin as well. I'm just going to get rid of that TD sequential so we can get a better view of things. And the fact that we're seeing this consolidation usually means that we're going to be breaking some sort of support or resistance in the very near future. So Bitcoin can indeed pop up and shoot up to that $7,000 or $7,600 region if it breaks bullish. Also, if it breaks bearish, I do expect a pullback at least back down to that $6,000 region where that previous support was held in the past. So definitely pay attention to that. I think we are in a good scenario right now. We're in a good position. I do think with the consolidation, we are looking quite nice, especially on Litecoin. The fact that it is getting very, very, very close to its downtrend. It'll be very interesting to see where the movement decides to bring it. Lastly, from the top 3 cryptocurrencies we're going to, or blue chip cryptos, we're going to look at Ethereum. And I know a lot of people have mixed thoughts about Ethereum. You can see the downwards wedge that has been drawn on the TA. And interesting enough, I do anticipate, and I still anticipate, a run back up to support for this high-low MMA. And I will be changing the rest of these lines, so don't worry. I will increase, but you can see the difference between that thin and this is much thicker up here. But I do plan on fixing those up for you guys to see, so keep that in mind. But I do anticipate after consolidation a movement back up to that high-low MMA. Reason being is we did break bullish from the downtrend, and we did happen to bounce off the top right here. So that pretty much is going to sum up my opinion on Ethereum. We're just going to have to keep following this currency right now and see where exactly it wants to go. But I do anticipate a movement back up to this high-low MMA. I do want to point out something on Bitcoin. I want to show you guys where the potential that Bitcoin has to go if it indeed breaks upwards. So basically, we're going to do the same thing and start this at the top. Sorry, we're using the wrong one. We're going to use this one right here, the price range, started at the top and move it all the way down to the bottom. And I know it's in negative, but I'm just going to reverse it. Actually, no, we're just going to start it at the bottom. All right, so we start at the bottom right here, and we move it all the way up to the top, and that is around a 211% jump. So now we take that 211 and we start it where we currently at again, and we should see pretty much a 211% jump is pretty much bringing the price back up to those all-time highs, that $20,000 region. So we do have a potential to break upwards to that $20,000 region in the future very soon if we manage to shoot back up and get that volume back moving in the crypto. Now looking at Ripple, Ripple does indeed look nice. You can see that we do have a downtrend drawn on Ripple, and you can see how, hold on, Ripple is getting cut really close right now. You can see that beginning of the downtrend is forming right here, and you can see the resistance it's facing with Ripple. And you'll notice right now we are in a very, very, very tight knit spot. I'm going to zoom in even more, so you can see it is pretty much cutting it very close to the wire. And we're going to be paying attention to this coin in future videos, only because of how close this is. It's due to pop, or it is due to drop very soon. We're going to basically see whether or not to short or buy into Ripple as soon as we see a movement above either one of these lines, below this line or above that line. But it is definitely looking very nice. You can see how it is definitely coming very close to the bottom, or the inner wedge of this downtrend right here. And with enough volume and enough steam built up, you can see the resistance it's faced. We may break up from it and at least head back up to the high-low MMA at around $65, which is a huge flip on the currency, around a 20-cent gain per Ripple that is owned. So it is definitely an awesome jump to see within Ripple. But that's going to sum up the video for today, guys. So if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.